Good evening. Happy New Year. Oh my goodness. 2024 is over. 2025 is upon us. And boy, does 1989 seem like a long time ago. I think I need to change my email address. Because like it used to be the thing, like you do like first name, last name, year of birth. But now I'm like, I remember judging people when they're like, Fred Smith 72 at msn.com. I'm like, 72? Actually, 72 is not even that old, all things considered. Anyways, now when I give people my email address at places, I feel like saying 89 just sounds so... Well, first of all, I feel like the year you were born, that might be like a security thing. Like, shouldn't just be telling people that? Strangers? Through my email? Anyways, now, yeah, all right. That's a tangent we don't need to go down right now. What do we need to go down right now? It is 2025. Happy New Year. I think that's what I was saying before. All right, well, we had ourselves our championship round. The only two games that I'm going to cover is our actual championship and then the toilet bowl. And I'll briefly cover the toilet bowl because it was me versus Carlos, and I won. I won something, guys. It wasn't the thing to win, but I won something. I do want to point out, yes, I would have lost this week had I been in the actual championship, but I did. My terrible season of 3 wins and 11 losses. I actually finished on a 4-game win streak to close out the season, which is great. I mean, that made me feel a little bit better about how things, wrapped up. Anyways, yeah, I won the toilet bowl. Maybe next year I can win a real one. But yeah. So guys, our championship, it was Dan versus Mike, and the projection was always close. I think it was, probability of winning was hovering in the 52 to 48% bracket the whole time, and it was just shifting back and forth the whole day Sunday. Well, we had games Wednesday on Christmas, Merry Christmas. We had games on Thursday. We had games on Saturday. And then we had games Sunday and games on Monday. So the most drawn out, maybe that's why it also seemed like a weird week to have our championship on, because you literally had games Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 5 games, and throughout that point, so many injuries or benchings or whatever happened, but like 6 teams had already played by Saturday. And so that just kind of felt kind of weird. So again, we're not going to adjust the length of our season, but I think maybe that's, now that I think it out loud, that's probably what made this championship week feel so strange, is because games were spread out over a 7-day span basically, which is just ridiculous. Anyways, 6-day span. Anyways, it came down, I mean, it was back and forth. Mike, if you had just played the Buffalo defense, why would you play Dallas defense playing the Eagles? I know Jalen Hurts lived up to his last name, and so you have Kenny Pickett in there, but you still have Saquon, and you still just have the Cowboys, whose defense this whole year, well, I guess they had 4 games where they scored over 17 points. It was either feast or famine with them. 19, -1, -6, 4, 8, -7, -4, 4, 8, 1, 19, 19, 1, 17, 5, and then -4 against Philly. So that's you can't even trust that. That's ridiculous. You either get 19 points or -4 from them. Like, that's insane. Yeah, I'll lose it. Your bottle. All right, there you go. Anyways, poor choice, Mike. Was it gonna kill you? I mean, if you had even played your Minnesota defense, they got you +7. Buffalo got you +17, and you go into that Monday night game with, you had a 20-point lead. No, a 10-point lead. Just a 10-point lead, because this Browns dude, who's this guy, and you got some kind of garbage touchdown. Oh, who's this Jay Smith? Jonnu Smith, your tight end, Dan, got you a last-second garbage touchdown. And that cut, like, Mike had like a 20-point lead, and then all of a sudden, when that last slate of games ended, the 4 p.m. games ended, Mike was about to have like a 20-point lead going into Monday night. I was like, all right, you feel pretty comfortable there. But then a touchdown to Jonnu, and then Jefferson jumped up from like 8 points to 13, and all of a sudden, it was a 10.2-point lead. 10.2 point. 10.2 point lead for Mike going into the Monday night game. Jared Goff taking on Brock Purdy. And it was a shootout, folks. Dan had Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm just narrating it because I just kept slacking people or discording people, chatting with people, let's just say. And it was like crickets until the final moment when I had to @ everybody. Otherwise, I felt like I was doing like a personal blog entry. Should have just like chatted with one of those AI chat people, see if I could have a real friend in this world, this lonely life, this lonely existence. Just kidding. So Laporta, Sam Laporta, tight end for the Lions for Mike, and then Gibbs, running back. No Montgomery, right, Matt? And it was looking terrible for Mike. It was honestly looking terrible. I think instantly it shifted from like Mike having a 20% chance of winning to like Dan had like an 80%, 98% and 2% because Gibbs just kept on scoring and scoring and scoring. And then Laporta scored a touchdown and then got a couple catches. And it was just back and forth, running out of time. Mike has like a 10-point lead because of the Laporta touchdown. And then all of a sudden, Gibbs breaks a 30-yard touchdown. And where were the points at? 132.58 for Mike, 131.56 for Dan, and there was like 3 minutes left. The Niners are getting the ball back. If they go 3 and out and they keep all their timeouts, maybe the Lions have to run the ball. If they even get like one run, one first down with Gibbs, and the game's over, I'm pretty sure. But what happened? The Niners used up all their timeouts and scored, but didn't get the ball again, and they kneeled it. And that was intense. Like, that was the championship that you dream about as someone that does these stupid videos all year, and you just want it to be worth it, and that was worth it. That was finally a game worth talking about. So congratulations to Mike. 3 out of 4 years? I'm angry at this point. That's unacceptable. Now, if you had won 2, and then Sean had won 2, that's like just as bad because... But this is worse, even though I said it was just as bad. Either way, league, come on, guys, what's wrong with us? You gonna let these two knuckleheads just like make us cower in fear the whole year, and it's just inevitable. It's either Mike or Sean or Dan, because I think Dan won it or Brandon won it. I'd have to look back at our archives, but I think it was like Dan, Brandon, Mike, Sean, Mike. Anyways, it wasn't me. That's all I know. It wasn't Greg. That's all he knows. And it wasn't anybody else. That's all they know. But congratulations to Mike. That was wild. That was a crazy game. 132. I mean, that's the great scores. Great scores from both Josh Allen and the identicalness of this. I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but like Bo Nix, Josh Allen, it was a 0.1 difference between those two. Gibbs and Derrick Henry, a 0.8 difference between those two. Everything was just so close. And that was amazing. Anyways, the third place. So for our league finishing, we have Mike finished first and Hannah finished 12th. How about that, Hannah? You almost made your way in the playoffs and then you lost every single game in the toilet bowl. Or the losers bracket. So Sean's our official third place, beating Michael handily 135.64. And yes, Sean, we do know that you would have beaten both Dan and Mike had you made it to the championship. 13-game win streak, losing the first round, and then you win every other game. That's just exactly how it works. That's how it works, and my condolences. So Michael's 4th, Sean is 5th. Let's take a quick look. Our 5th place game goes to Jason because he beat Greg, I believe, but Greg beat Jason last year. Why don't you guys let me know who finished 5th and 6th as far as the actual standings? I think Jason did, but it doesn't really make sense why he would have because you guys split since you played each other twice. 9th place goes to the Weasel, which is crazy because he was 0-14, and then he won 2 out of the 3 final games, beating Matt. So Matt is 10th, and then on our 11th and last place game, Brandon, 4-10 Brandon, gets his 5th win of the year, beating Hannah, who went 0 in the losers bracket. So unfortunately, Hannah, when you look at like how you finished this season, even though you were 8-6 and there was an 0-14 team in the league doesn't care. The league says that Paul finished in 9th place and you finished in 12th. Now, Matt, this doesn't mean Hannah's doing the punishment, because we've gone over this. We have a whole offseason, guys, to go over. All right, so I'm done with that. We have a whole offseason to go through of what rules we want to enforce and put in place for next year. I anxiously await my chicken. I am excited for that, especially in this economy. Maybe the economy starts picking up in about 2 weeks or so here. I forget what the actual date is, but we'll see if things start turning around after January 20th, I want to say. Who knows? It could all get worse. All right, but we're going to have a great fantasy football league next year. Greg, I know it wasn't your last year. You can't go out that way in shame and utter humiliation in 6th place. Just 1 place ahead of me. Me! 3-11 me. Finished just 1 behind you, officially. Anyways, yeah, I have some exciting ideas for next season. I think we can make it a lot more engaging, a lot more fun, even for the people that don't participate and watch these videos or message at all, except for when they win the championship, Mike. It's not lost on me. Let's try to keep this going. I guess, Greg, if you want to make fun of me all the time, I'm going back to work tomorrow, so you can start doing that through Slack. You don't just have to only do it through Discord. But anyways, it's been a real pleasure. This has been a very interesting season. I feel like it was more chaotic and more stressful, and I had to put out more fires than I typically do as commissioner, but I'm happy to do it. Happy to serve you all in this way. Please, everyone come back next year. It's been a real